You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building, Bun B.
What it do?
What's up? Welcome back, sir.
Man, it's good to be back. How y'all doing?
Well, no, you
I feel
really
like Bun
back.
B hasn't been here for a long time.
No, Bun's really back. Like, Bun
Yeah.
went on a world tour with Gumball. You just got back. Tell us about that
When you
experience.
gonna come rock with us?
Envy always says he's gonna do Gumball.
You got the cars. You got the money. You can handle it.
And you have a car show coming up. This would have been a great promotion for your car show if you would
It
have
would have
done
been.
Gumball.
It would have absolutely
would've
been a great promotion.
But Gumball, they drive different countries, different places, different cities. Tell us about Gumball in this year. What did y'all have to drive? Where did y'all start at?
This year we started in London.
Mm-hmm.
We drove from London to Chantilly, France, Chantilly to Milan, and then Milan to Bologna, Italy. Then we got on a plane, flew from Bologna, stopped in Kazakhstan, refuel, then landed in Osaka. And we drove Osaka to Kyoto to like the small fishing village called Nanao, and then Nanao to Tokyo.
So some of those places, I would assume, might have been the first time you ever been there.
Yeah, I'd never been to Japan before, ever.
You never been to Japan?
I never been to
What
Japan.
about
They
Kazakhstan?
love hip-hop music. I
Oh,
figured they
no.
would.
When we jumped off the charter plane, which really blew our mind, because we charter our own private plane when we fly. And, like, as soon as I got off the plane and went through customs and came out, there was people waiting for me.
Absolutely.
I was like, how did they even know I was flying in today? What airline and all of that? They were there with the album covers and the T-shirts like, yo, Bun B, sign this.
That's so exciting
They
for them
love
because you've
hip-hop.
never been there. So I know
No.
they was going crazy.
No, it was a trip because I went to Poland once on Gumball, and some dudes, they found out I was going to be in Poland. So they drove like 500 miles because they were like, we never thought you would actually come to Poland.
Right.
So it's like we came all the way over here just to actually see you in person. So it really blows my mind how far hip-hop is taking me. It like literally took me around the world.
Doesn't it make you feel like now there's a lot of places that you should be going to that you never even
Yes,
considered?
absolutely. Japan was one of them.
Japan
I
is-
should
is-
have
I
been.
love
I should have been went to
You
Japan.
start speaking arigato, which means thank
Yeah.
you. Like, you really, like, I love Japan.
No, the shopping, as I'm
Shopping's
sure as
amazing.
you know, Envy,
Sneakers.
is crazy.
Yes.
And the culture of Japan, I think, is real ill. Like, they have this such forward technology, right? Like, all this next level technology, but then they still have extreme respect for their past.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have all this new age stuff in the same place with all this very ancient, you know what I'm saying, stuff at the same time. It's kind of ill.
I found the original Michael Jackson doll in Japan when I was there, in the box
Really?
and everything when I was there.
How much?
It was, at the time, this might maybe 10 years ago. It was like $150 back
Oh,
then.
did you buy it?
Really?
Yes, of course I bought it.
I'm
I
just
bought-
asking. I don't know.
It's still in my house in the box. I haven't opened it up.
And they have crazy, like all the stuff that sells out here quick, like all the Supreme and all the Bape stuff that sells out quick here, they still got
It's
it,
like
like
an
in boxes
excess.
over there. It's crazy.
Did you buy a whole lot of stuff? And
We bought a couple of things, mostly for her. You know, a couple
what
of
I'm talking
Japanese,
about.
couple of Japanese exclusive purses and
And that's
whatnot.
yeah, Louis Vuitton, they do like Japanese exclusive.
Yeah.
Chanel does Japanese exclusive. My wife loves it. I try to keep her away from Japan, man.
Yeah,
Keep her
no,
far away.
it's gonna be hard to stop her from going to Japan now. She got the Japan exclusive little
I see the
Balenciaga.
Balenciaga.
But explain Gumball 3000 for people, because I know you've been up here before talking about it, but for
Yeah.
people who aren't aware of what it is, explain.
So it's a car rally. We usually take anywhere from 120 to, this year we had 140 cars.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to drive 3,000 miles in 6 days. Sometimes we drive a little more than 3,000 miles. Sometimes we drive a little less. But it's really just about the drive and the route and, you know, the fun that we have with each other out on the highway. We just out mashing, you know, running from police, getting tickets, going to jail, driving all day, partying all night, wake up wasted. You know what I'm saying? We got to pass breathalyzers in the morning just to drive, and we just ball out and have a good time.
Now, how much
Like,
does it cost
really
if somebody wants to be a part of it? Do you need sponsors, or you can just go all you want?
It depends on how liquid you are.
Okay.
You know what
It's
I'm
a lot
saying?
of rich people that do Gumball.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
see.
This year was 60,000 pounds, which is close to 80,000 US.
Mm-hmm.
And you still got to get your car to the start line and then get your car back home. So this year you would have had to get your car to London.
So
and then get it-
$80,000, you got to get your car to London to all these different places?
Yeah,
Woo!
and then get
That's
it back home
expensive.
And
from
then get
Tokyo.
it back home. Now, how long did it take you to get your car to London?
It depends. If you take a boat, probably about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. If you take a car, a couple of days.
Might as well
I mean, if you put it on a plane,
might as well
couple
just
of
buy
days.
a new car in London.
All right, baller over there.
I'm not
I've
listening.
seen
I'm
people
just saying.
do that though.
Yeah, it
I've
just
seen
makes
people
sense.
like buy cars just
Because
to
how
do the
expensive
rally.
is it to get the car to London?
On a plane, probably about 15, 16,000.
That's what I'm saying. That's
depending
a lot.
on what country you're coming from. From here, probably about 15, 16 grand.
I'm about to lease something for a month.
Release for a month, put miles on, leave it there.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about this new album.
Yes.
What made you get back in the studio? What was the inspiration?
The wife right behind you, she was like, yo, it's time for you to start rapping again. I know you got a couple of things going on, but just because you got jobs in the daytime don't mean it's your day job. You know what I'm saying? Time for you to get back on the mic and get these kids some game. You know, it's a lot of things that need to be said, and we always get mad at young people that don't take life seriously, but we forget that we were young, and you can't get mad at people for not really knowing about stuff. You know, if you don't know, you can't really talk about it.
What made you take such a long break?
Well, it wasn't fun to me. Rapping, you know, ever since Pimp passed away, it got less and less enjoyable an experience for me. And it was just like really work. It was the first time my job actually started feeling like work. And I just wasn't, I wasn't enthused about doing it. So I just started putting my energy towards other things and kind of pushing away from it. And she was like, look, you can still do this. You just got to find a way to make the experience enjoyable for you. You got to work with people that you're friends with. So we went to Crit first. Crit is a good friend of mine. We talk a lot outside of music, but then he's also an amazing producer, an amazing talent. So we started with him, and once we did the first song with him, we realized, okay, this is the right place to be. And we just had fun, you know what I'm saying? We did a lot more joking and talking. When she would get mad because we booked like a 10-hour section, and I'd be telling stories and cracking jokes for 4 or 5 hours.
And they're
She'd be
cooking
like,
probably.
Yeah, she'd be like, fam, can we?
So that means you're doing it independently. You're doing it on your own.
Yes,
'Cause
yes.
If she's beefing, that means it ain't the label's money.
Yeah,
It's
no, it was
straight
our
up your
money.
So why independent this route? Totally independent. I should
Well,
say.
yeah, I mean, because, there's nothing really that the system can really do for me right now, and I don't really do what it takes for them to find me viable. You know what I'm saying? I got pretty good online following or whatever, but I don't do a lot of crazy stuff that encourages, like, young people or whatever. And they're really all about touching a younger demographic or whatever, so I have to take these chances on my own and know my own value and know what I'm worth and, put it on the line. You know,
And I'm
if you
sure
believe in
every
yourself.
artist you hit up was like, I'm in.
Yeah, no, we didn't have anybody that said no. I just didn't call people that I knew were going to be busy. I have a couple of people, we're going to get to them a little later. You know, one of them's on tour right now, so I'm going to let him and his wife live for a minute.
Okay, Hove, all right.
I'm going to let him live for a minute. But other than that, no, everybody we reached out to was receptive. They were happy to be a part of it. And it was fun. You know, it was actually really fun. People were excited about me being back in the studio. I was excited again, which I hadn't been for a long time. And she was right there making sure I was putting that pen to paper in a real way. And I think we got some good music right now.
Now, were you chasing the younger demographic, or
No, because we would have
fans?
went different with the features if we wanted to do that.
Right.
But it doesn't really work like that. Like, you can get, like, say, if I wanted to connect with the Migos audience, it's a lot easier for me to get on one of their records to expose myself to their audience than trying to put them on my records. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different dynamic.
I see Lil Wayne's on the album as
Yes.
well, Rude Boy.
Yes.
And I just saw recently at Louisiana Fest that him and Birdman came on stage and apologized to
Yeah, I
him.
heard he's coming to apologize to Charlamagne next.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
right.
I don't know if that's going to
Definitely not
happen.
Well, he
He's
apologized
blocked.
to me and Yee already.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think Birdman ever
Definitely
blocked Lil
apologized
Wayne
to
on
Charlamagne.
social media, but Charlamagne is blocked on social media.
funny.
Has
Definitely
anybody
blocked.
ever blocked you?
On social media? Like, famous people?
Yeah, like you ever
Nah.
Why
you
don't
bother
piss nobody
I'm just
off?
asking.
No, because, if they did, I would just find them in real life and be like, what's the problem? But I don't really have any beef with
I know,
anybody.
I
I
know.
don't have no problem
It's
with
just
people.
funny because like he's blocked by a lot of people, so I'm wondering.
Who, Charlamagne?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
Not at all.
I'm sure it doesn't surprise him either. He don't mind, though.
He'd be a little upset at times. Like, he was mad that Ashanti blocked him.
And Chili.
Really?
He was mad that
Really?
Chili blocked him. He was
Why?
mad that Amy Schumer blocked him. Just those three. Everybody else, he didn't care.
That's funny. Did he say something about us singing?
I don't know. He says so many
I'm
things
sure.
about
He's
different
sus-
people.
he's so
never said nothing
suspect.
about you, so.
Nah, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
All right, now let's talk about your cooking as well.
Yes.
These trail meals that you be doing.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
had
we
no-
haven't done one in a little while. People every time me and my wife go in the grocery store, people are like, oh, what's the meal today?
So what's the chill meal for people that don't know? The chill meal.
Trail meals is something that me and my wife created. I used to watch a lot of these cooking videos online, and they're real instructive, but they're very
Dry.
calm and dry. They really are. So I kind of made fun of them one time. It was very real exaggerated with the comments and whatever. We did it on our live, and people really liked it. So I was like, let's do an actual one for the gram. And so we did like a 60-second video, and I did it kind of like a Vine video, like real quick cuts and edits. And like I said, taking a smoke break, I think, was the thing that really broke it open, because a lot of people cooking, but stopping to cooking for a minute and
They go
hitting the
smoke.
blunt or whatever, go smoke right quick. People really really got into it. And I try to make the commentary fun and different. I throw a lot of random shit in there that really don't have nothing to do with food.
Right.
And people really took to it. We got a real good following on it. We started a YouTube page with it, and it did okay. But then the album stuff started coming in, and we couldn't do them as regularly as we would like to because we were traveling a lot more, and there's no kitchens in a lot of studios.
Right.
So, but now that we're done with all of that and the album rollout is here, we're going to probably get back on that real tough. People really liked it. We had a couple of companies call us wanting to do a show, but they were like, well, but how do we get around the smoke break? Because that's not going to fly with a lot of these companies. I'm like, you can't. You just have to kind of do it as it is.
Weed,
Plus, I think it could fly
it has
nowadays.
to be
'cause
weed.
Weed is legal in so many places now that
they can do a
Yeah,
hookah
but
break.
it wouldn't pass a lot of standards and practices. You know
you're
what I'm
not
saying?
supposed to smoke while you cook?
Well, I mean, like if I'm on like the cooking channel or the travel channel or something like that, they wouldn't be too happy about the smoke break. I don't think.
It could probably be on something like Vice or something like that, though.
Vice might work.
It'll
Yeah.
work.
I'll let your boy.
Now, what was your mind frame with this album? Because you're not a kid anymore. So
No.
so who are you speaking to, and what are you talking about on this album?
Well, I'm speaking to my age group. You know what I'm saying? The people that have been with me since the beginning. You know, people that were 18 when I was 18. They're 45 now, like I am, and we've got different priorities. We got different things that we need to be worried about and concerned about, and so I try to stay in that lane.
You get
I'm not
political
trying.
on it?
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Shout out to 2 Chainz who just got married because he's on the album as well.
Yeah. No, and his wedding was amazing, right in the Versace mansion.
Did you go?
No.
What was your wedding like?
My wedding was dope. My wedding was dope. I spent way too much money. That's all we talk about is that because we fed like 450 people.
Sheesh.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So I had a big wedding.
Was this before the big fame or after,
probably right in the
after,
middle.
during?
Right in
Okay.
the middle. Like probably right
So
after
the money
Big
was
Pimpin'.
coming in.
Money was good. You know, she was like, "Yo, I want to get this dress." I'm like, "Nah, we getting Vera Wang. We ain't playing." You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I'm only going to do this once, so I want to do it right. And we look back on like, yo, we could have saved a lot of that money. Just went to a little island with the family and just did it like that. So when we renew the vows, that's probably what we'll do. Just go to somewhere really nice and bring a couple of the family members and just do it like that. Because we did our wedding. We ended up doing it for everybody except us. You know, we spent all that money on food and flowers and all this craziness.
Flowers are expensive. I just told you this morning. Flowers
Yes.
are expensive.
He was trying to send flowers to somebody for a funeral.
Right.
Like to a woman just to show his respects. And I directed him to a place that I thought was nice and he thought it was too expensive. But
$350 for flowers to show some respect. I was like, I'd rather
the flower
get cash.
game is strong right now.
That's expensive.
I'm in the wrong business. Obviously, I went to Dead Mouse's wedding. I never seen that many flowers in my life.
Really?
Son had at least about 10,000 roses.
That's crazy.
that's crazy that
Easy.
you said if you could go back, you guys could have just went to an island. Because I do feel like weddings aren't for you. It is for everybody else.
No, it's not. You
and
know,
as
I
soon
did
as
a
you
lot.
tell a venue it's a wedding too, they charge you a lot more than they would charge for
I did a
anything
lot,
else.
you know, to make like my mom proud, my grandmother proud. We wanted to make our mothers, you know, our parents happy with the ceremony and do it big. But again, it got way out of hand, and it ended up not being about us at all. I had to fight people off because people were trying to crash my wedding.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
But them plates are expensive. I can't get you in,
I
bro.
was like, no, I can't do it, fam. Not with these stations I got in here. We had the meat station and seafood station and the big chocolate fountain and all of that. And I had my cake. She had her cake. And, you know, we had DJs and this big, ridiculous. It was really too much.
When are you guys renewing the vows?
We're talking about next year because Gumball is going to go from Mykonos to Ibiza. So we're going to start on the island and end on the island. So we're talking about, you know, possibly getting our vows renewed.
I might bring one of my little cars out there. My little.
You
little
should come,
cars.
man. You're built for it.
He
you know?
keeps
You can
on
handle the
talking every
hours.
year, he
Here's the
says
thing. It's
it.
really about, you know, being able to handle long hours because you're driving all day, then you go in the club, you're going to party all night. Then we get right back up like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning and you go back to it. You can handle that.
I
You
should
do
have
that
did the
every
one
day.
where y'all was in the U.S. and started in U.S. because I could have broadcasted from some of them cities and then took off with you guys.
Yeah, you
That's
could.
what I should have did, but
You can still broadcast from Europe. There's ways to do it.
Part of it
I
is
don't know if my
probably
boss
trying to
gonna
go
let
to
me do that
places
one.
you've never been to before, though.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, no, I've been to Russia on Gumball. I never
Mm-hmm.
thought I would have went there. Croatia, Serbia. You know what I'm
So when
saying?
you get a ticket out there, do you have to pay it?
You got to pay right then.
Oh.
You
they
pay
don't
right
pay.
then
Pay
and
the
there.
money right now.
No, they have like
That's
the little
actually called
portable.
extortion.
They have like the portable card machine. If you don't have cash, they have a credit card machine on them.
What's
But
it-
you got to pay right then because they know you're not coming back.
So you got to pay. If not, they lock you up. And if they lock you up, they lock you up for what? Reckless driving?
Yeah, well, it depends on what you're doing. Regular driving. I've had people get DUIs at 10 in the morning.
Damn.
Yeah.
What
You
is?
know what I'm saying?
Did you get any tickets?
Not this year.
Okay.
Not this year. But normally I try to get a ticket.
You
That's
try?
like,
You try?
Yeah,
What-
that's
what-
like a souvenir.
And what
If
are
you
the
don't get a
prices?
ticket, they tell you you're doing it wrong.
That's how you know you're rich, when you want to get a ticket as a souvenir.
Like I know dudes, that's what
I'd be
they come. They
devastated.
come to get tickets in every country, but sometimes like in France, sometimes they like to take your license. So most people that get pulled over in France, they get their license taken.
This is some really rich people stuff, man. To get tickets
It
and
sounds
souvenirs.
fun.
Yeah.
It's a kid's
Because
dream.
the tickets used to be about $350, $400
Oh my God.
euro.
I probably start
Yeesh.
crying.
So we keep a couple hundred in
Just in
cash,
case.
just in case.
Just the kid. Now, how was Houston as far as artists? Are artists starting to mess with each other in Houston more?
Yeah. I mean, we never really had that kind of situation in
You
Houston
see
where
Slim
people were
Thug on the
divided or
album?
whatever. Everybody's, rocking with each other because we all want to see Houston in a certain level of prominence.
Right.
So everybody's, really, cutting for somebody else. So whenever we see somebody that's got a little buzz, like right now it's a young kid, OTB Fastlane, he's got a really good buzz in the city, so everybody's responding to him and trying to support him. It's unfortunate his manager just got murdered a couple of weeks ago, so rest in peace, Peanut. But he's got a really good buzz, and there's this new kid, Tobe, Nigerian kid. He's got a really, really strong buzz right now. He's doing things different. He presents himself different. It's very choreographed, very organized, very specific what he does, but he's extremely talented. And I really, really like what he's doing.
And what about Houston after the hurricane and everything that happened?
It's still rebuilding. We were just with Habitat for Humanity. We worked with them extensively over the last couple of years, and they were going back to some of the houses that they had worked with and trying to fine-tune a couple of little things, you know what I'm saying? One of the ladies, she had a stroke, and so she can't really walk anymore, so they built her like a wheelchair ramp at her house and made it, rebuilt some stuff in the house so that it was accessible for her in the chair.
Gotcha.
And, it seems like every time we go to a house, we go on a block and there's somebody else on that block that needs help, so we end up going from the house that we started with to another house on that particular block where that lady lives. We end up helping her sister and her sister's neighbor. So just on that block, it was 3 houses that Habitat helped rebuild.
You see, J.J. Watt just released what he was doing with the funds.
Yeah, finally.
Finally, right?
Yeah,
Because you guys have been asking to know what's happening with all
Well,
this
not
money.
me, because I know he's got a good heart. But
I mean,
there were a lot of
everybody's
people,
been asking,
but a lot
like,
of people
we need to
were
know
curious.
where this money.
Yeah, and I understand that because I raised like $60-something million and people wanted an accounting of where that money went. And so that's why we went with the companies that we went with because they were very transparent. The Comic Relief, even though they don't throw the concert anymore, they're still very heavy in the charitable world, and they're already tied into a lot of companies. So we use them to help distribute the funds, and they have a very high level of accountability for where the money goes and what's done with the money.
You see, Bunny ain't asked us to help anymore after we sent that tractor trailer of stuff the wrong
Nah,
way.
y'all,
Yeah, he
yo,
was
it
like,
took
y'all caught-
forever. It took
Caused a
forever
lot
just
more
to
work.
unload that truck you sent, man. Like, for real.
We didn't know. Bun said, I got an empty tractor trailer. Can you fill it up? I didn't know you had to put them in crates. I just filled it up.
They
like,
They didn't even
just put-
organize it. They
Yeah,
just threw stuff
nothing was
in
on the pallet. Nothing was boxed up. It was just a truck full of
Don't nobody
just
want
full
them
of stuff.
Timberlands in Houston.
And
And
It's
it's
hot as
long.
hell.
You'd be surprised. You'd be
there
surprised.
was so much stuff in that truck. The guy was like, this is never going to make it down there. I was like, please, just take your time. He got it
Yo,
down
and he
there.
had to, and for real, like, shout out to him because as a driver, his truck was so heavy, he had to, like, he kept blowing tires.
Yeah.
He kept blowing tires trying to get that stuff down there, and it took him a while to get down there, longer than normally because he couldn't drive as fast as he normally would because he had so much weight. But he got it there, so much thanks to you, Envy.
No, thank
Really
you. We
appreciate
love
it.
to help, man. I was trying to get his name. I can't remember his name, but
The truck driver.
yeah, I can't remember.
Well,
his name.
Return of the Trill is out on Friday. Now, this song I
Yes.
can't wait to hear. You a bitch.
Yes.
Let's talk about that song.
Of course, you
you-
picked that song, yeah?
I do. I like the. Listen, I already know I'm gonna like it. That's gonna.
Well, it's different because we tend to use the word bitch. Initially it started as, degrading against women. Then it was like, we like, well, some of you dudes are bitches too.
Yeah, we've
But-
expanded the word
So
bitch for
now I'm
everyone.
talking really more about like, corporations. So I'm really talking about like pharmaceutical companies, prison industrial complexes. 'Cause they bitches too. They could be handling these situations a lot different than they are, but they taking a bitch route. So we got to call them out on it, So that's a lot of this album is really me saying things that the OG need to be saying. Now the OG has fun too. We go to strip club with B King. We have a good time on the album, but there's a lot of things that need to be talked about and touched upon that, the younger cats may not have a frame of reference for. And they're young. When I was young, I wasn't talking about that kind of stuff. I was talking about wild shit, So it's important for me as an OG to make sure that somebody's addressing some of this stuff, and then maybe the younger cats will pay attention and see what it is and learn more about it, and then they could be vocal about the situation because they got homies locked up just like I do.
You feel like the OGs are not really doing their job watching some of these kids
Nah,
and the
they're not.
shootings and
They're not.
stuff on the albums?
They're not. I'll put myself up there first. There's a lot more that we could be doing in the hood, and a lot of us are very detached from what our neighborhoods are going through right now. And even if we don't have the money to like literally go in and clean it up, we should still be out there talking to these young cats, at least trying to give them some kind of game, some kind of opportunities. I got young cats from my town like PA Youngin and GP and B Lean, and all they're looking for is opportunities and a chance. So I'll let them open up for me at different shows, and just try to take them out of the hood for a minute and let them see something different so they can be inspired to want to do something. But it's not easy for young cats right now in the inner city. There's a lot of, there's a lack of opportunities for them. You know what I'm saying? And there aren't people really speaking positive things into their lives. So I feel like if you call yourself an OG, that's what you need to be doing right now. Whether they want to hear it or not, you got to at least try.
Did you read Jay Prince's book?
I haven't read all of it yet. That's a pretty long book, and I know a lot of it. I was skimming through some of it, and I was like, I remember this, and I remember that.
You would never think Jay Prince would even give up no information.
Nah, well, and keep in mind, this is a very timid version of the Jay Prince story. You know what I'm saying? I think
he's a nice guy.
I think the movie will have a lot more than that because they're working on a movie of the book now, a movie on his life, and they'll probably incorporate a couple of more things in there than the book does. But he's a humble dude. He doesn't brag on himself about what he's done, and he's never been like how do I say it? Like, he's never been like a boaster or like, I'm Jay Prince, I did this, I did that. That's not his style. So to get him to tell a lot of these stories, he doesn't feel like he wants to tell some things because it seemed like he's bragging.
Right.
But a lot of these things were necessity, things that he had to do at the time. But it's good to see somebody like that being willing to share, some of the trials and tribulations that got him to where he is, because everybody would love to be where Jay Prince is in life.
Absolutely.
What about yourself? Does that make you feel like it's time to tell that Bun B story?
Yeah, and my wife has been pushing me to write the book for a while. It just feels weird talking about your life story and you're still like going through things and life is still happening. Like, we're still getting great opportunities in life. So I feel like the best of my life is still to come.
Yeah, but it's also, you could go up to a certain point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you got to start in the early days, because that, even to wait until all of it, like 20 years from now, there's going to be too many things to talk about.
Yeah.
So I do kind of feel like it would be good to do something like from the beginning stages of your career, from growing up and all of that. People would love to hear what made Bun B into the person he is today.
And there's a lot of stuff that I would want to talk about, but like some stuff I forgot. So I only remember certain stories when I'm around certain people. They be like, "Yo, B, you remember back in the day?"
And that's when you write it down. Like,
and I'm like, "Oh man, I forgot about that." You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. My recall isn't so good nowadays. I used to be really good at that.
I forget something that I was about to do 2 seconds ago. As soon as I'm like, "Who was I about to call?" So I can imagine.
It's funny. We was talking about the Bobby Brown flick.
Yeah, I keep seeing the trailers for it.
And they were saying that when they were shooting the movie, Bobby Brown was helping with the movie, and it was like, the kid came out, it was like, Bobby was like, I never wore all white. I didn't wear all white when the car crashed. And it was like, Bobby, Google, you did wear all white.
And they pulled up the picture. He was like, oh,
really?
Well.
Well,
I ain't wearing them sneakers. I ain't wearing, like, he just can't remember.
He can't remember some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Bobby's got an interesting life, too.
I can't wait
But
to
for
see
you,
that.
I think it's good because there's people that were around you that you could actually interview and talk to about things that happened.
Absolutely.
As
Yeah,
well.
I'm going to have to. Queen, we're going to have to get on that.
Yeah, I think people would love that.
Executive producer, get on that.
There's a nice love story going on in there, too, because you guys have been together for such a long time.
You hear that, honey?
What?
Ain't that nice?
People love a love story. What is the secret to staying together for so long? Because you guys have been through a lot, I'm sure, from before you were famous.
Communication is really the key. You have to talk about things. You can't let something sit and simmer and then already make moves and changes based off of something that you didn't even talk about. Like, in order for somebody to fall in love with somebody else, they have to fall out of love with the person that they're with. Mm-hmm. And they don't communicate those kind of things. So you have to be willing to communicate how you feel at all times. Look, I love you. I love this relationship, but I'm not getting what I need to be getting out of this relationship. You can't be scared to talk about that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you'll just sit there mad on your side of the bed. They'll be mad on their side of the bed. And eventually, somebody won't start coming home at night. Mm.
What are some of the rules that you guys have? I feel like Queen is super trill.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, this is an open book, right? So there's no social media sites that I have on here that she doesn't have the password accessibility to. Like, she woke up this morning, put my phone on the charge. She was like, you got like 10 messages. You know what I'm saying? I was like, see who it is. Answer my. She don't like answering my text, but she'll let me know I got a text. But she'll go through, like, I don't check my DMs and all of that. I let her check all of that stuff.
Let her do all of that. Check somebody like, no, you never got a crazy DM and you're like, whoa, I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, when people send crazy stuff in what is it, the request? Mm-hmm. There's like the request side of it. People are really somebody tried to shoot their shot yesterday. She was saying a couple of people tried to shoot their shot. Like, oh, you in New York? What's up? Kind of a thing.
Damn.
I just let her handle that stuff. I don't even address it.
All right.
No, that's the key.
That's the guy.
Wife
let
has
wife
the codes
handle
to
all
everything.
That. I don't have a problem with her going through that phone. Knock yourself out.
I'm the same way. And the second thing is, wife is always right.
Always.
Always right.
Always.
Every
time I try to inject, no matter how much knowledge I have on the situation, I may have done it 100 times. She's probably never done it before, and then she'll have her opinion about it, and I'll be like, nah, and then it turns out her opinion was right.
You're right.
And that's what a good wife is. A good wife has insight. A good wife knows you and your situations, and they can look at it from a different perspective because they have an insider's view and they have an outsider's view. So they can see these things in a different way than you can. And you just got to sit back and trust your partner and roll with it.
Who's a better cook?
She is. I'm a better eater, though.
Well,
we take that 2 ways.
I was going to say, you take that how you want to take it. I knew Red was going to jump on that.
You got to watch it. You a little kinky. You got to watch it. You a little kinky. Your boyfriend live in Detroit, so you kinky all year round.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, we appreciate you for joining us.
Nah, thank y'all for having me, man. I always appreciate the platform, man, for real. And y'all got such a great thing going, like this kid here. I don't know where this kid went. He went to LA or something?
He's in LA.
Yeah, he's hanging out with Lee Daniels. He
RuPaul
said and EJ.
And EJ.
Magic Johnson.
Really?
He said he's having a ball.
Good for him. I hope he's not literally having a ball. That one for you too, Red.
He said he's having a ball. I just say we let him live. All right. Well, it's Bun B. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.